Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another Black Desert online video for console. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about something that I've been working on lately, which is enhancing big stacks. Now, big stacks are useful for things like Pen Blackstar, which is what we're going to be working on today, something I've been working on for a little while. You've got Fallen God armor when that comes into the game, requires some big foul stacks, and things like pen accessories as well. You guys need big stacks for those too. So that's what I've been working on lately. I figured why not make a video about it, show all of you guys what I'm up to, and maybe this video will help you out as well. So if it does, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already, make sure you hit the bell button so you get notified when future videos go live. I appreciate all of you guys for watching. Let's get into the video. Now, I also made a video previously regarding how to enhance boss gear, and this is really focused for beginners, giving you guys a really good understanding and explanation of how to enhance gear from 0 all the way up to 10. Now, this video is probably a little outdated now because the enhancing UI has changed a lot, and basically the way that we enhance now is a little bit different. So I'll be updating that in the future, but for this video, I'm going to assume that everybody has a basic understanding of fail stacks, a basic understanding of enhancing, and we're just going to be focusing on basically enhancing from pry all the way up to pen, essentially, with enhancing big fail stacks. I'm going to go through it all and explain it all to you guys. So for anybody watching this that isn't too familiar with enhancing, feel free to go check out that video. I'll link it up the top for you guys right now so you can check that out. It is a little bit outdated, but the method in that video absolutely still works. You can still follow that method today, and I'll just update that video pretty soon for you guys. So guys, when it comes to how do I get my fail stacks, basically I get a lot of them from just enhancing boss gear naturally. I tend to not really do a lot of like fail stacking and spending a lot of time making stacks, because the way that I enhance my gear provides me a lot of stacks naturally. So this helps me later on, and it really saves me a lot of time just having to go through and make stacks. So you can see, for example, like 1750 stacks that I would use this for boss gear. This is all just like what I've got naturally over time, and this saves me a lot of time having to go through make stacks, and I'm going to explain this process to you in just a second. So let's talk about the process that I do when I'm enhancing my gear. Well, starting at pry, this is probably one of the easier ones. Basically what you want to do is you want to find yourself a 20 stack, and basically if you don't have a lot of these, you do get a lot from the game, but if you don't have some, what you can do is you can come into the increase enhancement chance, come to black stones, for example, and then you can select from the list of stones here the stacks that you want to exchange. So if you wanted a 20 stack, you could exchange 33 stones and you've got yourself a 20 stack. What I would do then is I would tap that away. There's no degrading when you fail on a pry, so you can just tap it and tap it until it goes to duo. What I would then do is I would keep going until that goes to either duo or you reach 30. The reason why I stop at 30 is because 30 is the start of a try stack. You've got different levels for each, like enhancement level, like soft caps where you want to start and stop. 30 is where I always stop, because that means that I can put that stack away later and then I can use that for going duo to try. So this is what I'm talking about getting stacks naturally over time. You're not always going to get pry to duo between 20 and 30. Sometimes you're going to have to reach 30 and then pull out another 20 stack and start again. But don't think of this as a bad thing. Think of this as a good thing, because it saves you having to make yourself a 30 stack for later on, and all these extra stacks always come in handy at some point or another. So basically what you want to do once you've reached duo is you want to go ahead, put in your duo gear, and then you want to also put in one of those 30 stacks that you have, just like that. What I do now is I use cron stones for duo to try. If for some reason you need 10 stacks, let's say you're short on 50 stacks and you need some stacks to go for 10, don't use cron stones here. It's okay if you do this without cron stones. Doing this naturally over time without cron stones is going to actually give you a fair few 10 stacks, and it's going to help you in the long run. If you've got a lot of stacks like I do and you don't need 10 stacks, use cron stones here. Save yourself a little bit of hassle going back to pry and then getting it back to duo and going again. Now, talking about why we're cronning duo to try instead of try to tet like I did in my previous video. Well, basically we're looking at the cost of the resources essentially. So if we pull up this chart here, you can see that with the Uragons, it's going to be 43 cronstones to go from duo to tri, or 131 to go from tri to tet. And the benefit of not cronning tri to tet, like we did in the previous video, means that you can build up your pen stacks naturally through failing. And pen stacks are very valuable and very expensive to make if you're not using this method and you're doing the fail stacking method and trying to get pen stacks. So basically all we do now is we just tap it away until we hit tri. You guys don't need to do the animation. You can skip the animation if you want. I'd like to do it. I don't know. I'm a little bit superstitious when it comes to enhancing. So I like to do the animation, but you guys do whatever you want. So there we've hit tri. Now basically what you would want to do is you want to continue this method. I like to have a bunch of spare gear here. You can see I've got a whole bunch of duo gears here that I'm going to use, and this is my spares. Once you've got yourself a few tries, then we're going to come back and we're going to do our tet attempts. Okay, so once you've got all of your tri gear ready to go, basically what you want to do is you want to pull out a tet stack. Now the way that I do this is I work backwards. So the tet stacks are 50 to 100. That's the range that you want to be working in. Once you get to 100, you want to put it aside, leave it for tet. You can put in 10's Valkyrie, get it to 110, and there you go. That's your soft cap stack for your pens. Basically what I do is I work backwards. I give myself the best possible percentage chance of success when I'm trying to hit my tets. There's no point me starting on 50 and working my way up all the way up to 100 if I've got a 70 stack here that I can't use for anything else. I might as well use this for tets and then try to get myself a tet. Worst case, I end up with a pen stack, I put that aside for later, and then I start again on the next lowest stack, which would be this 60 or the 62 that I've got there ready to go in the band. So I'm going to pull out this 70 stack, and we did manage to get ourselves around, I think it was 8 tries. So we're going to have 8 attempts at getting a tet. So let's go ahead. We're going to tap these to tet. We're not going to use cronstones. If you guys get to this point and you've got your tries ready to go and you're unfortunate enough to not hit any tets, basically what you do is you just repeat the process. You repair all your gear, you get some more cronstones, and then you try again until you get a tet. Alright guys, so there we go. We just went and ran them all. Out of the 8, I only got 1 tet, but that's about right. You know, you're not going to get them all depending on how lucky you are. Between 10 attempts, I normally get 1 or 2 out of 10 attempts, so that's pretty much on par with the normal kind of ratio. So what you would do now is you can see that stack there is at 92. What I can do is I can just go ahead, put that stack aside. That I will probably get maybe 1 more tap on that. And then I can put that stack aside for a pen attempt later on. So now that we've got our tet, this is where the fun part is, right? Basically what you want to do is you want to pull out your big stack. Now depending on where you're starting, this could be 100, 110, depending on what you've got. You know, I've got so many pen stacks. I've got 111 here, I've got 104 here, and then you can see like on my characters, I've got so many stacks built up here, 102, 113, 109. You guys get the idea, right? So we've got a lot of stacks, but you guys are going to have your own. So depending on where you guys are starting is what you want to be using this on. Now for me, I'm going for Pen Blackstar. Now this means that I need to pull out my big stack. Okay, we've got our 206 stack here ready to go. We do need 1 more tap on this, and we need it to fail so that we can then put in our Valkyrie, get it to 220, and there's our Pen Blackstar stack. Now basically the way that this works is it's just a rinse and repeat process. If you guys are starting on 110 and you want to make a 200 stack, you literally just have to keep repeating this process all the way up until you reach where you want to get to. If for some reason you succeed and you do enhance pen successfully, then you guys get to make the decision about whether you want to keep that piece or whether you want to sell it and use the silver to keep going and fund more enhancing. So doing it this way definitely allows you guys to build bigger stacks. This is the main reason why you want to do this. You definitely want to be using boss gear to enhance bigger stacks, and you want to be making sure that you guys are doing this with spare gear. You never want to be doing this with the gear that you have on your character. The reason is because everything is so hard to achieve in this game, and you don't want to be going backwards. Every time you make progress with your gear, you don't want to blow that up and then having to redo it all, because you're never going to get anywhere in this game. That's why I've got so much gear in my inventory right here. It's all just spare gear that I'm using for enhancing or building stacks, and if it succeeds, then I can either put it on my main and then I've got pen gear, or I can sell it and I can make some silver in the process. So while this is a pretty costly exercise, enhancing is not cheap on its own anyways, but it's something that you're going to be doing over time, something that you're going to be working on depending on how much silver you have, how much you can invest into resources. That's ultimately going to dictate how much enhancing you can do at one time. So what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to put this tet in. We're going to go ahead, fingers crossed for a fail here. If this succeeds, I don't know. I'm going to be pretty upset, but at the same time, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to have mixed emotions. We definitely want this to fail. Once you get past the point of around 190, 200, that's when you kind of want it to fail at that point. It's getting pretty high for boss gear, and at 200, you're going to be using that for pen accessories. At 220, that's your Pen Blackstar stack. You definitely don't want to be succeeding around this point on boss gear, because it's very costly to make a stack this size. So fingers crossed that we fail, guys, and here's to Pen Blackstar. And there's our fail. Okay, good. So 212, what I can do is I can come in here, I can put in my 8 Valkyrie, 220. There we go. We've got our Pen Blackstar stack that we're going to be using this on stream to do some Pen Blackstar attempts. So guys, that's how I build big fail stacks. I hope this video has helped you out. If it does, don't forget to give it a like. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about the video, and subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. I'm always super stoked to have new supporters come on and let me know that these videos are helping you guys out. So I appreciate all of you guys for watching as always, and I will see you in the next one.